the evolution with regards to television has been rapid. This is something we've spoken about with Beat before, but really coinciding with the onset of the pandemic was a huge uptick in streaming habit. People were following stay-at-home guidance, they were watching more TV, they were streaming more. But back then, it was really about subscription usage. You pay your fee, you get your content, there's no ads. Now, in 2024, and really from 2023 onward, there's been a dramatic shift where the adoption of ad-supported streaming television has really risen. And in fact, the majority of people, about 7 in 10, prefer free ad-supported streaming television.
What are some of the pain points right now that are impeding progress in that CTV space?
You know, I'm not sure there's much impediment to progress. The progress is being made rapidly. Now, are we at the finish line? No, but I think we can all be very impressed with the content scenarios we're giving people. The discoverability of the content is improving. We're giving people the types of content and the way they want it to be delivered, so there's more choice than ever before. If you want a subscription with no ads, you can get it. If you want free with ads, you can get it. If you want a subsidized subscription with a lower ad load, that exists as well. So I think from the consumer perspective, there's more choice in how you consume television than has ever been true. And now in terms of the advertising, it's becoming more and more advanced, and we know relevance drives satisfaction with the ad experience as well as performance of the campaign itself.
And what is LG doing in terms of new ad formats?
Yeah, so at this new front, we're going to be talking a lot about improvements to our existing ad units as well as some new ad units. So for example, you can expect to hear us talk a lot about the pause ad units, screensaver ad units, shoppable TV, which by the way is not a new technology, but the consumer readiness has really shifted. So the technology to be able to either shop directly from your TV or bring that shoppable experience to the phone in your hand, that's kind of existed for a while. What's different right now is that people are ready to shop and ready to shop in that way, and that's the key difference. I would also say content discoverability. So I think your average viewer is used to a specific OTT app providing recommendations. So because you've watched this, you might like that. But what we're working really heavily on is making the glass, the home screen of your TV, really the recommendation engine. So imagine a world where across your portfolio of subscriptions, your portfolio of fast usage, where the recommendation at the home screen is because you've watched all of these things in all of these places, here is what you can watch within the universe that you have access to. And I think that's where we're going from a consumer perspective. It's going to be better content recommendations, and then better advertising supporting that.
And so that's why consumers are a bit more open to shoppable TV now, just because of the quality and the quality and the sophistication.
Yeah, there are sort of a few underlying reasons why consumers are shopping a little bit more, but I would just say TV now is not your grandmother's TV. So if you're a media planner and you're still just building 15s and 30s and deploying your campaign in that way, that's almost how they just did it in the 80s. We're here in 2024. The ability to do that still exists, sure, but now we can be so much more sophisticated with how you target both content but also the advertising. And with linear TV, it used to be this spray and pray scenario where you know there's an incredible amount of wastage in a given media plan. With CTV, that wastage is minimized to a pretty extraordinary degree. And so with that wastage minimization comes the relevance, which we spoke about before, which comes satisfaction, comes effectiveness. So I think that's really where we are at right now. Can improvements be made? I think improvements can be made across all of those things, but I'm pretty excited about where we're at right now.
What are you excited about in the year ahead?
You know, I think 2024 is going to be the year of, there's two things. The year of shoppable, so we're already seeing that. What we're yet to see because of the spend cycle, but I think the other thing is it's going to be the year of political spending. Political will go to connected TV, and it's really easy to forget 4 years ago at the last presidential election, there was not really any CTV inventory. The usage wasn't really there yet. This is going to be the first presidential election where CTV is going to be a meaningful part of the campaign promotion cycle. The bull case is CTV could even sway the election. because of its addressability, the ability to target ads to certain geo, whether it's a voting district, electoral district, certain messages, maybe your message to the blue side of the aisle, the red side of the aisle, the incredible precision with which it can be delivered, I think that's what's going to make it a really useful tool. And over the next 6 to 8 weeks, I think is where you're going to see that uptick in spend as they start to gear up for November.
And what about sports? That's also going to be a bit, it's like a double header. You have two different things happening at the same time between news and sports.
Yeah, I agree. Sports is huge for television. We've always known that. I think what's interesting, and the US is in somewhat of an interesting scenario because the internet infrastructure is in a very advanced place. So if I'm watching sports at home, I'm not worried about buffering. I'm not worried that my internet will fail me at that key moment of the game. But I saw an interesting piece of analysis recently. It was done by Sportico. They analyzed the top 100 shows of 2023, and I believe it was something like 92 or 93 of them were the NFL. Right?
Yep.
And so when you're talking about more than 9 in 10 of your top 100 being one specific sport, I think we know which domino needs to fall for that to really flow. But we're seeing NBA, MLB, MLS, all of the major sports, as well as some sort of underrepresented sports finding homes in streaming. So I think, where the NFL goes, and they've already, tested out Thursday Night Football with Amazon, and I think that's been quite successful from all reports. I think that's where to watch. But sports is critical for viewership, and in the US, I think that there's a wide level of acceptance of sports in streaming formats.